this lecture we will going to talk about the difference between the combinational and the sequential circuit.
In digital circuit we are talking about two types of circuit. We are always talking about two types of circuit in digital circuit. So one circuit which we generally talk about is known as the combinational circuit. Okay, CKT is the short form of circuit and this is also known as the CC. And when we are talking about the another circuit which is known as the sequential circuit. So whenever we will going to talk about the digital circuit, we have two types of circuits. One is the known as a combinational circuit and one is known as the sequential. So when we are talking about the combinational circuits, so what we are trying to say in a combinational circuit is that when we are talking about the output, we can have three types of outputs: present, past and future. So when we are talking about the combinational circuit, so we say that there are two types of things. We will be talking about the present. So what we can say that present output, what you are getting a present output, that depend on the present input. If you have a present input, you will get a present output. We are not talking about anything related to the past. When we are talking about the sequential circuit, so what we say that present output, when we are talking about the present output, so the present output can depend on the present input as well as on past input or past, or we can write bracket that is previous input. Suppose my present input is A and my present output will be, let's say, A1. You are getting my point? So what I can say that again, if I'm taking this present input as A, so I can get a present output A1, and I can also, this output, the present output can also depend on A minus 1. You are getting this point? So what we are trying to say is that I will make a more clear picture, that suppose this is my, I hope you have already studied about the array. So let's say I am writing here x0, x1, x2. So what this is, if I am writing x0, x1, x2. So let's say if I am talking about this x1, with the help of x1 I am getting the output y1. So this is known as the present input, present output. Okay, so this is the input. I am saying this is my input. This is my input and this is I am getting the output. So this is my present input. So what will be my past input? My past input will be my this x0. So if my y1 can come with the help of x1 as well as with the help of x0, then it is known as the sequential circuit. So now you can see, if I ask you with the picture what I have drawn at the top corner, so do we are storing something? See, okay, just I will give you the example. When you are watching live on YouTube, or you are watching live match, so do you store that thing? No, we are not storing something. Okay, that means whatever the input is coming, we are telecasting that thing. Okay, but when you are seeing the repeat telecast, when you are seeing the repeat telecast, or you have downloaded something, you are viewing that thing. Okay, so what that value will be? That value will be your past value. Clear or not? And that past value, where you are storing? You are storing it in the memory. Where you are storing? You are storing it in the memory. So what we can say that in combination circuit, no memory is required, whereas when we are talking about the sequential, memory is required. Okay, got this point? So whenever we are saying no memory in CC and memory in SC, because in sequential circuit the present output depend on the present input as well as past input. So past input, from where you have got, you have already hold that past input. That is clear to you? In combinational circuit we are only focusing on the present value, present, whereas in sequential circuit we are focusing on present and past value. So therefore in combination circuit we don't require any memory to store the elements, whereas in sequential circuit we require a memory to store the past value, because this past value can also change your result, your output. The present output can be changed with the help of the past input. So similarly, when we are talking about the no memory is required and memory is required, so whenever we are saying memory is required, and we are saying that this output, this present output depend on present, as well as it can depend upon the previous. So what we can say, that whenever we are talking about that the output which we are getting can depend on the present as well as on the past value. So what we say, that there must be some feedback that is coming into the picture, like this. So in a combination, no feedback is there, and in this sequential, feedback is present. Why I am saying feedback? Because if I draw some circuit, so let me move here. I will going to write the DC here, digital circuit again here, and then I will going to write here combination circuit and sequential circuit. So again, I will going to write that it depends on present input and present output, but here we have got present oblique past input can be used to get the present out. So what we can say further, that in this no memory is required and this memory is required. And when we are saying that present depend on the past, that means there is some connection. Let's say I am drawing one circuit. So this is my, let's say, Y, okay, and this is my Y again. My input is X, okay, whatever the input I am giving the X, I am getting the output Y. Whereas if I am talking about here X1 and Y1, the Y1 can depend on the X1, and if there is any feedback that is coming like this, so this Y1 can again come to here, okay. So what will happen, this output which you have got, this output, so consider this X1 as a present, first present, and this Y1 as a present output. When this Y1 come back to here, this present will going to become your past, and this output Y1 which come here will become your present. So what we can say, that there will be a feedback present, okay. So what we can say here, no feedback, and here we can say feedback is present. Then what type of circuit can come in the combination circuit? Okay, so whenever we are talking about the type of circuits that can come into the combination circuits, we generally have half adder, full adder, half subtractor, full subtractor. Then we have got mux, that is stand for the multiplexer. Okay, then we have got the demux, then we have got the decoder, and then we have got the encoder. So all this half adder, full adder, half subtractor, full subtractor, these are what? These are your combinational circuit. You got this point? These all are your combinational circuit. Whereas when we are talking about the sequential circuit, then you will going to heard about the latches. We have got latches, flip-flop, resistor, and counters. And even you have digital lab, you have designed the counter to count the values. So that counter which you will going to design with the help of a resistors, that can also come on the sequential circuit, because it has got memory, and the value can change from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. So how it can be changed from 0 to 1? When it move ahead, and the value can change from 1 to 0 when there is any feedback which will going to reset it. Okay, so you have got the values that will going to change. So what we can say, it has got a memory. Sequential circuit, when we are talking about the sequential circuit, it has got a memory, it has got a feedback. Whenever we are talking about the combination circuit, so combination circuit are those which do not have a memory and there is no feedback.
In next lecture, we will going to talk about the half adder and full adder.